Welcome to Tea Time. Today we continue our readings with Exodus. If you follow along, chapter 14, all the way down. Now, the word for today is what? Freedom! Because God has freed His people. You saw them going through the Red Sea, and you know that famous story how God saved them. And He parted the way so they could go through. And then when the soldiers came, God, and they all drowned. Well, God also gave them the celebration of Passover, that God passed over their sins. The believers who had the blood on the door, that was God's promise that He would save them. Now, as you read this today, you're going to notice again and again what God does for His people. Did the Israelite people do anything? Did they do something wonderful that God saved them? No. God loved them. He saved them. He did all of the work. And that's why the cup I have. This one here has the verse from Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 and 9. That you and I are saved by grace through faith. It is not from ourselves. It is a gift from God, not from works, so that no one can boast. See, that's what you're going to read as you go through Exodus. And Exodus means to leave, to escape, to go. God helps you and I. Not only helps us, He gives us that freedom. He gives us that escape from sin, from the devil, from death. That's His promise. And as you go through Exodus more, you're going to notice how God gives His people guidelines. For example, in chapter 20, you're going to read about the 10 Commandments and how God said, I want you to do this and this and this. Not because God is forcing them and says, you must, which, yeah, it really is a law that way. But also, God gives it to you and I to show us this is how the best way. God wants us so that we with what God's will is. Now, sometimes people tell me, Pastor, I don't want to, why do I have to do that? Why? I mean, I want my freedom. I want my own way. I don't want to be. I want to ask you, are you a slave to the car maker? Okay, let me show you. I would like you to take your car and instead of putting gas, pour water in the stead. What's going to happen? Will your car work? What about instead of oil in your engine? I think you should take, maybe pop, yeah, we'll pour some soda in there, that'll work good. No, it won't. See, you and I follow what the car makers tell us because we know that's what makes the car, the engine work good. The gas makes it so it goes. The oil makes it so the engine keeps going. We could change it, but it's going to spoil it. The same way God was giving His people those guidelines. This is what I want you to do because this is what's best. So you and I will have a life of peace, of joy, of that relationship with God. So that your and my life will go along and it will run smooth the way God wants it to. You're going to read this. And as you read, go on, think of that. That was God's purpose. It wasn't to give people new rules or laws that would be a burden only. No, God wanted to help them to see how He wanted their life to go. But you're right, you're also going to see they messed up. You and I don't follow those perfectly. Thank God. Just like when they left, they went through the Red Sea. God guides us. Through our baptism, God frees us from that sin so that He takes it away and makes us His perfect people again. He gives us that grace again and again and again, again and again and again and again, so that we continue to be His people, free to serve Him and to serve each other today and always. I pray God will bless your time together in His Word.